Hi, and welcome to this, the third in my series of videos about the IELTS exam. In the first video, we looked at how to avoid the killer mistake of silence when trying to think of answers to experience-based questions in part 1 of your test. In the second, we did the same thing for opinion-based questions in part 3 of your test, using some fillers to give yourself a little bit of time to think. I hope those videos were useful, and if they were, then please subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe to this channel if this video is useful for you. In this particular video, the third, we're going to look not at giving yourself time to think in response to part 3 questions about opinion, but rather about how you can give a really good answer to a part 3 speaking question that asks you about a topic that you know absolutely nothing about. How is that possible? I'm going to show you in this video. So, to be clear, I would always advise students to read articles on the internet as part of their preparation for the IELTS test, to read articles on the internet about common IELTS topics such as the internet, advertising, technology, the environment. The more reading you do, the better the chance that you will be able to think of an opinion to give about a part 3 topic. But sometimes, no matter how well you prepare, you will get a curveball. A curveball is an English expression, an informal word, which means a surprise. And it's a word, this word, curveball, which you could also use in your speaking test to describe something that really surprised you in your life. So sometimes they will ask you to give an opinion about a topic that you know absolutely nothing about. For example, what if you were asked this question? How has art in your country changed in the past 20 years? I'll be honest. I would not have anything very much to say about this in English, and I'm a native English speaker. I don't really know. I don't know anything about art. I don't know what's changed in this country in the past 20 years. So, how would I try to answer this question? Well, I would seek to use native ways of talking and idioms to do two things. Number one, to tell the examiner that I am not interested in this particular topic. And number two, to tell him that because I'm not interested in the topic, I don't really know anything about it. And now I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. Let's look first at native ways of saying that you just are not interested in a topic. Here are several ways of doing this, and each of the ways that I am going to show you involves saying things that native speakers might say. We're going to use the example of that question about art and how it has changed in the past 20 years for these answers. So, lack of interest. Number one, art has never really been my thing, to be honest. Number two, art has never been my bag. Number three, art has never done anything for me. Number four, art has never been my cup of tea. Number five, art has never really floated my boat. Number six, I've never really given two hoots about art. Number seven, art is not something that I have ever given a monkey's about. Okay, so they are all native ways of saying that you are not interested in something. Now let's look at native ways of saying that you lack knowledge about a topic. Number one, I haven't got the faintest idea about this topic. Number two, I haven't got the first idea about this topic. Number three, I haven't got the slightest idea about this topic. Number 4, I haven't got a clue about this topic. Number 5, I haven't got the foggiest about this topic. Number 6, what I know about this topic, i.e. art, could fit on the back of a postage stamp. So it's a small space, and if you wrote everything that you know about art, it would fit only on the back of a postage stamp. So you know almost nothing about it. So these are all native ways of rescuing yourself from a situation in which you know nothing about a Part 3 topic. So if you do get asked an opinion topic about a question that you know nothing about, what you can do is combine an idiomatic sentence that means you are not interested in something with an idiomatic sentence that means that you know absolutely nothing about it. For example, combinations could include, art has never really been my cup of tea, so I'm afraid that I haven't got a clue about it. Art has never been my bag, and so I'm afraid that I don't really have the foggiest about it. I've never really given 2 hoots about art, and so what I know about it could fit on the back of a postage stamp. You can use any combination of one sentence indicating lack of interest and one indicating lack of knowledge. Doing so would be much, much better than just being silent or hesitating for a long time whilst desperately trying to think of something sensible to say. Now, a word of warning. To be clear, this is not an approach that you should use with more than one Part 3 question. What you need to do is to keep this strategy in reserve for a Part 3 question that you really do know nothing about. Using these idiomatic sentences to say, I don't know anything about this and I'm not interested in it, will give you a good answer because you will score highly for using appropriate idioms to communicate your message to the examiner. So that's it for today, but keep your eyes peeled, which means to look out for my next video, in which I'll show you a really good way to help your grammatical range score in Part 2 of the speaking test. Okay, so that's it from me today. Thank you and goodbye.